All right. All right. Shalom. We the Brothers of Great Millstone, the church in Birmingham, Alabama. And as always, want to begin by giving all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakak Kodash. Yeah, in the ancient Hebrew tongue, those would be the correct names of the Heavenly Father, His only begotten Son, and the Holy Spirit. Also, would like to give double honors to our teachers, the head apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Shalom to the fellow laborers out there. And as always, you believers. So yeah, we back once again through the spirit and power of Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai. As you can see, with the Akim, Barak, Wadawadah, Spirit allowed us to come together once more to go into another quick lesson. As always, the rallying cry centering around pronouncing judgment, against this place, America, Babylon the Great. And in particular, Esau, so-called white man. We will be in the time of his visitation. What's that, the book of Jeremiah, the 49th chapter? Because the scriptures, when read, when understanding what you find out, what lies within it, is the wrath of Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai, man. Prove that when you read the book of Psalms, the 9th chapter, in the 16th verse, the Lord is known by the judgment which he executed. So if you inquire of the scriptures, you dive into the scriptures and, attempt to unravel the mysteries, what you come up with is the judgments that's featured within it, man. Right? We often go into that. You can pick the brain of an atheist, right? You don't have to believe in the Bible, but I bet he's weary of the flood. So the Most High has an emphasis on him promoting his judgments. You see, and now we're in a time, which is documented when you read the scriptures, but now we're in a time of Esau's judgment. Matter of fact, I quoted that. Let's get that real quick. Jeremiah, the 49th chapter, and I believe it's the 7th verse.
This is the book of Jeremiah, chapter 49 and verse 7.
Hey, and,
concerning,
if you could read that heading.
Prophesy against Edom.
Right, prophesy against Edom. That's the time we in. He in trouble. You have a kid, and it's a message that come down, a message concerning some type of rebuke, punishment. And somebody conveyed is a certain solemn overtone that comes with the message. Esau, you're in trouble, man, because when you understand the true nature of Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai, and I mentioned it, you go back in times past, the flood, the takedown of the ancient Egyptians, man, that was a system. The Lord, he surgically broke up that system. He sent forth plagues, and he killed off the firstborn, right? That was emphatic. Sodom and Gomorrah, plenty other documented accounts which promotes the wrath of Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai. So now we're in a time where his sights is set on Edom, man. See? Come on out.
Jeremiah chapter 49 and verse 7. Concerning Edom, thus saith the Lord of hosts, is wisdom no more in teeming? Is counsel perished from the prudent?
Mm-hmm.
Is their wisdom vanished?
Right, and that's the time we in. The Lord is stripping Esau from his prudence. And that's why right now he's naked. Everybody's questioning his motives. It's a divide within the nation, right? They can see the BS. Pretty much, really all the nations can see, the so-called white man for who he is. That veil has been peeled back. Or like the movie, The Wizard of Oz, Corner Wolf always bring that up, about how the guy behind the curtains, the perception that he was this dominant guy, but once the veil was peeled back, you saw the guy for who he was. That's where we at with it with Esau. See it? Come on out.
Flee ye turn back, dwell deep, O inhabitants of Dedan.
Mm-hmm.
For I will bring the calamity of Esau upon him, the time that I will visit him.
Right. So we're in that time now, which proves that we're in the end, and that's pursuant to Second Ezra, the 6th chapter, where Esau is in the same breath with that phrase, the end of the world. Now, real quick, let's click on that word calamity.
Okay. Strong's H 343. It says distress,
Distress.
burden. Mm-hmm.
Right. So before the fall of this place, the Lord is going to visit it with heavy calamities, burdens, misfortune. And you see that now. Oh, did you see the video where they had the compilation? We should have pulled that up, where you had a so-called black woman in succession. They was venting about not being able to pay their rent.
Okay.
Right? They was crying and moping, and they was literally asking people help. Like, send me, And there was one broad, she was trying to reason, and I threw up more curses, like out of the bitterness of my spirit when she was trying to make sense of it. She was like, yeah, I used to go on trips, and I said, man, like, yeah, that's the only thing that come to mind, But yeah, we're in those times where the Heavenly Father will reduce that spirit of mirth. It will be brought down to mourning and lamentations, man.
Mm-hmm.
See? Read that again.
Distress,
Mm-hmm.
burden, calamity. It says burden of the righteous.
Yeah, let's jump down to the Strongs.
In the Strongs, it says in a sense of bending down.
Right, that's the humbling of America, man. Because there's a very proud spirit within America. It's a spirit of pump. So the Lord is going to bring it low. Now, bending down, that's a process. Oh, that complements Isaiah the 47th chapter. Mm-hmm. Come down and sit in the dust, O virgin daughter of Babylon. Go ahead.
It says oppression.
Oppression is going to be a point where you people are going to be on lockdown, which you already are oppressed. You think you free. You got this illusion of being free. And right now you can come and go as you please. You have certain liberties. But it's going to be a point where you're going to be oppressed, meaning you're going to be confined, constrained. See, that's a part of the story of America, Babylon the Great as well. As it relates to prophecy, it's going to be a scene where you're going to have people cast into these prisons, concentration camps, and even in your own homes. When they start locking these cities down, you're not going to be able to come and go as you please. Continue up.
It says by implication, misfortune, ruin, calamity, destruction.
See? So the visitation of Esau, right? Let's go back there to Jeremiah 49. The visitation of Esau will manifest itself, obviously in the form of the destruction. That's the climax of it. But initially, and even the very time we're in, and we're going to get into that, it would, the Lord's visitation will manifest through misfortunes, calamities. Because usually a misfortune, it happens to someone who is fortunate. Mm-hmm. See, that what makes it a misfortune. So that's how the Lord is going to bring forth a heavy humbling. All right, come on.
It says Jeremiah 49:8, flee ye, turn back, dwell deep, O inhabitants of Dedan. For I will bring the calamity of Esau upon him, the time that I will visit him.
Right, the time that I will visit him. So we're in those times. So you got anything out?
Yeah, I got some real quick. Going back on that point.
It's a little low on my end. I don't know if it's just me.
Can you hear me now?
That's a little better.
Just going back to that point you mentioned concerning that humbling and how the Lord is going to do that. That bending down, the act of bending down is going to be by the way of those plagues. The book of Second Ezra, chapter 8, and 50, because that's the medicine for pride. That's how the Lord is going to combat that pride by the way of the stress and anguish. It also mentions that as well in Revelation, the 18th chapter.
Okay. This is Second Ezra chapter 8 and verse 50. For many great miseries shall be done to them that in the latter time shall dwell in the world.
So if I may,
Because
it said that latter time, that those that dwell in the world, and that's concerning a certain age. That's the age of Esau, where these great things will take place. That's why, it said it's going to be done to them in the latter times, those that dwell in the world. So those that have held fast to this man and in his ways. Just going back, even what you just mentioned concerning, these women, putting, on the online concerning their situation, where it's because they held fast to Esau and they were so used to that lifestyle. Then suddenly the Lord pulled the rug from under them, man. So this is going to take place, on a global stage, and we seeing that process. We seeing this playing out in real time. You read that again,
Come. For many great miseries shall be done to them that in the latter time shall dwell in the world, because they have walked in great pride.
And that right there put Esau on the scene right there. Just that characteristic, attribute of pride being put in this precept, so that it goes back to Esau. That's one of the attributes that's with him. It talks about it in Obadiah, the pride of thine heart.
Mm-hmm.
It even talks about that in Psalm 73, how pride compasses them about as a chain. So that they bound by it. It's in them to be like that. But the Lord is going to combat that great pride with great miseries, man. And it's only going to get worse as we at the height of pride. Where you got Pride Month and proud to be this and proud to be that, the worship of yourself, so the Lord is going to send these certain plagues. There's going to be that medicine, man. It also talks about that in the book of Baruch, the 4th chapter. Miserable are the cities, So this is what's coming on the planet Earth. Just going back to that point, as you mentioned, how that calamity, is going to serve as an act of, bending down, that great humbling, and it's going to be by the way of those miseries, But you got it out.
Yeah, and if I may, that's an excellent point. Chronologically, before the destruction, the scriptures is documented. It says, "What pride goeth before destruction." And like the brother mentioned, man, you got Pride Month. And you know what? See, if you can't get it, that means the Most High, he blocked. How about Shema Shah? He blinded you, because this is so obvious, right? Like you mentioned that word pride. It covers him, violence covers him, and pride can pass him about like a chain. That's a representation. That's his uniform. See? So if you miss that, then that means you blind. The Lord got all these signals, all these alerts firing off. Red, swords. And you missed all that, that means the Lord blinds you, man. See, we see who he is. His kingdom and the scriptures gives you a vivid illustration of how it'll crumble and fall. You know what, just to complement what you just went into, let's get that in Revelation 18, because the Lord is going to combat that pride with a heavy humbling. And you can't be angry with the Most High. That's justice. You've been so used to being under the watch of this man Esau. There's no integrity with his system. You can get a lawyer, it's loopholes. But true justice is to award you after you awarded us. We ain't got time to play around and award him as he rewarded you. Come on.
Con. Revelation chapter 18 and verse 6. Reward her even as she rewarded you.
Right, that's a simple judgment. And you know the judge ain't playing, you know. It takes away any, right? Can no lawyer, no defense lawyer come up with any loophole in this. Because that's true justice. Reward you as you rewarded us. Go ahead.
And double unto her, double according to her works.
Mm-hmm.
And the cup which she hath filled to her double.
Yeah, and the Lord, he a great king, so he gonna tip her. Because it's a reward either way. The Lord gonna reward the just, and we're gonna be rewarded much more than what we even deserve. That's a great king. He gonna tip us. And he's not gonna leave Esau out either. Esau earned this destruction. So the Lord is gonna give him what he so earnestly searched out. Right? That's what you desired, nigga. You was in the lab tediously putting blueprints, coming up with goddamn missiles. Which we know Yahweh Shema Shah put it on your spirit to do it, but it was your desire. You the one invested all that, you know. So the Lord gonna give you what you was looking for. Come on.
Okay. It says, how much she have glorified herself and lived deliciously.
Right, and that's dealing with the throne of Esau, man, America, which pride herself on being the lady of kingdoms. They boast. Just look at, for an example, like the Olympics, which I didn't watch. No, I watched a little bit just sparingly, right, in different settings where it might have been on TV, but they boast in being Americans. See? And those other nations, they hate them, man. I believe it was an incident with even Steve, what's his name, Steph Curry's wife. Yeah, some guy cussed her out or some shit. She was in tears. Go ahead,
It
yeah,
says
because
so much
proud fucking Americans, man. And to add insult to injury, they simple, man. They're a bunch of retards. Come on.
It says how much she have glorified herself and lived deliciously, so much torment and sorrow give her.
Yep, you got it, bro.
So hey, it says that she glorified herself and lived deliciously is going to be traded in with torment and sorrow, man. You know, and that's going to be done by the way of these plagues. That's how those emotions, you know, is going to be on display. That reaction of torment and sorrow is by the Lord sending forth these series of plagues, man. You know, you got it.
It says, for she saith in her heart, I sit a queen and am no widow, and shall see no sorrow.
Hey, that's pride at its best, man. You know, saying that you ain't gonna take no ill. You know, and that's the spirit of these Americans as well. You know that you know it triggered down to the people where they prideful. You know, well they're gonna always, you know, overcome. You know, but that's why the Lord is going to send these things to give you a reality check, man. You know that Oh, it talks about that in Isaiah 47 that these things gonna come in one day, man. You
Yeah.
know, the loss of children and widowhood, which is death. Ultimately, the results is death. That's what the Lord's gonna send to this place, man. You know, you got
Hey,
it, bro.
if I can add to that, that's the pulse of America, right? That spirit of saying in her heart, your heart is within you. So the pulse of the Americans, that's how they feel, right? That's why everything is so much of a shock to them. When the power go out for 45 minutes, niggas can't believe it. What the fuck? That's saying in your heart, you would never be, right? That's a genuine feeling within the hearts of these Americans. Why? Because they don't know Yahweh Shema Shah. They're literally a slave to this replica of reality. This system, it's their be-all, end-all. So that saying within her heart, that's the pulse of America. Hey, and just like the compilation of all those women who was grieving over rent, and one chick, she said, I got 18 hours or something to be out, you know, and she was, but you could see that she couldn't believe it, right? She genuinely couldn't believe it. But see, we know, like scriptures say that we are pilgrims, man. The mindset, we understand. Look, if you expecting this place to be destroyed, sincerely, then you know that this is not a temporal place in that, man. Right. Furthermore, the more detailed, the sensitive information that we have been given through the report, it's touching famine and perplexity and whatever form of calamity one can conjure up. Come on.
It reads, therefore shall her plagues come in one day, death and mourning and famine, and she shall be utterly burned with fire, for strong is the Lord power who judgeth her.
If I may, just going back says, therefore, see, this is the results of having that mindset of being proud and living the way they are. And what I said, therefore, this is the results of walking that walk. You know, now you got to deal with reality, which is prophecy, death, mourning, and famine, man. That's what's going to bring forth that torment and sorrow. And then the icing on the cake, the destruction, man, which is, you know, World War III. That's the icing on the cake. But before that, it talks about how the Lord is going to beat down our foes with plagues.
Yep.
You know, so it's not just going to be one thing. People going to have to worry about escaping. You know, it talks about sorrow is going to be on every side, man. You know.
Hey, Baba Kashad, can we get that? What the brother just mentioned? I will beat down. And look up that word beat, I want to say right there. Because, you know, like if you have a stubborn animal, you beat the shit out of them, but really they don't get it. Like that's really how America is. They fear the plagues, but they're not going to be mindful of the scourges. See? Your ass got beat with COVID. So like, and you know what, them niggas, it was like a humble, right? Saw niggas in their house, like these, you know, entertainers and motherfuckers with status in Babylon. Then they got right back out to it, you know, when they was able to go back out. They wasn't mindful of the possibility of, you know, that's what made you think, well, hold up, I could be in prison, I can be constrained. Go ahead, Up.
This is Psalms chapter 89 and verse 23. And I will beat down his foes before his face and plague them that hate him.
Right. Yep. That's it right there. The word beat and plague is in the same breath. But yeah, we can see what that word give you. I don't know if that's a phrase or not. But the plagues are likened to another blow and another blow. So pretty much the visitation of the Lord Oh, I see it's a phrase. Okay, let's see what they give you.
Con. Phrase, I will beat down. It's Strong's H 3807. It says to beat, crush by beating, crush to pieces, crush fine. It says to beat or crush fine, to beat, hammer, to beat or crush fine, to be beaten, to beat in pieces, shatter.
Yeah. So,
In the Strong's,
right?
it's like,
And we can continue on. I just wanted to say, when you beat someone, into pieces, that's likened into falling apart, like being all over the place. That's why it's even a saying, pull yourself together, like girding up your loins. Even the Lord told Job, gird up your loins. That's equivalent to pull yourself together, because when you fall apart, that means you have been broken. There's no foundation. You have nothing to stand on. Your stability is gone. You wavering. So that's what's happening over here, man. Here in America, the mindset of the people. And guess what? We can see through. We know you people not happy, right? They put on this facade as if they're happy, and even if it's happy, it's in increments, right? Even if it's a genuine form of happiness, And then, what prove that? Because the happiness is so far and few in between to where you niggas have to upload it to Facebook or, capture that moment, at a birthday party. But the reality of it is you people, you're broken. See? All right, come on.
Con. In the Strong's, it says to bruise or violently strike. It says beat down to pieces, beat in pieces, crushed, destroy, discomfort, smite, stamp. If I may.
Yeah, you got it.
Going back to those scourges, that's a smite. Somebody slapping you in the face. That's what the Lord is basically doing with America, Babylon the Great. And it's a continual stroke. It's not dying down. It's actually increasing. In these times. That was pretty much it.
And that would happen in Egypt as well. Like those series of plagues. Certain of those plagues was strategic. They crippled and compromised the economy in Egypt. So yeah, was that it on that? Yeah. So we can segue to the articles unless we got something else here. That's pretty much it on that.
This is from the peoplevoice.tv. WEF document confirms 6 billion humans will die in 2025. It's
and that pretty much that's part of our doctrine as well. A lot of people are going to be put down. Was that in 2nd Ezra, the 5th chapter? People shall be taken in a great number. And the Lord have several tools to make that happen, but chiefly Esau, is that top tool that's going to be the use for the deletions of a lot of people, man. You gotta go out.
Right. If I made the sword, what else could it be used for but to kill you? It says a World Economic Forum report hiding in plain sight confirms that upwards of 6 billion people will die in 2025. And according to reports from Davos, Klaus Schwab has confirmed the stated goal is on target to be achieved.
Hey, so pretty much if I may,
Like
that's really a death threat. You know, depending on the cadence of words and how it's presented, it could be said to you in such a way where you overlook it. But ultimately, they threaten. They're telling you they're gonna kill you, 6 billion motherfuckers, and they projecting to kill or get rid of over 6 billion people. Right? That's the target. That's what they expecting. See why? Because it all falls under the banner of their agenda. Remember, one of the main offenses of Esau, you know, is out of his mischief is that whole concept of depopulation, man. Right, sitting in the temple as if he's the Most High, and that proves that that's Cain, because in his pursuit to continue in power, he reverts to, like the brother mentioned, the sword. Why the article couldn't be you project 6 billion people to live? Because it's either or. But as it were, under this man's watch, the theme is death. Come on,
Khan says the global elite have been warning us about plans to radically depopulate the earth by any means necessary. And now the results are playing out before our eyes.
Yeah, and that's true. That's the
Says,
consensus amongst the elite. That's their rallying cry. By any means necessary. And we know it all goes back to the birthright because of their phobia, their deep, true, and sincere fears to be led into captivity by us, man. So this is out of desperation, and it's by any means necessary. They got all type of devices. The sword ranges from a missile to a damn. Oh, you know they got insects, right? It was tests done. I think it was in 1951. I had to look it up. One of the brothers sent it to me. But where they released fleas, and pretty much they was I think they was infested with some form of pestilence, man. Like these devils constantly trying to kill your ass, but they try to do it in a way, they do it in a subtle way. Right? They want to kill you off and they want to deflect it. They want to do it under the banner, wave the flag of a pandemic, or or a damn terrorist attack when they was the ones who put it together. See? Come on.
For you. Just going back what you mentioned the book of Psalm 59. On that how the devil they say he sent these different death threats in a roundabout way. Psalm 59, I believe, verse 7.
Let's see. Psalms chapter 59 and verse 7. Behold, they belch out with their mouth, swords are in their lips.
Yeah.
For who say they doeth hear?
So it said swords are in their lips. So really everything this man say, he presents is a form of war, destruction of what he speaks. And then it's, as you mentioned, it's subtle. That's why I said for who say they doth hear, man, because this devil in a cunning manner, So that's what he's doing, sending forth different death threats, but it's in a cunning way to where you don't know how people falling, how people just dropping dead. But the nigga that told you, but it is in a cunning manner, That was pretty much it.
Things a little bit more on this article. It says, if we have any hope of stopping them from achieving their goal of murdering the vast majority of humanity and turning Earth into a prison planet to enslave the rest, the information in this report must be shared far and wide. And if I may,
Mhm.
just going back to what you said, Elder, that's their goal, to get the birthright back, to have the planet in subjection, to enslave the people, by way of that sea hill. But yeah, that was pretty much it on this article right here. This is from endtimeheadlines.org. 11 examples that show we are truly living in very strange days. It says every day we are literally being bombarded with news stories that indicate that the world that we live in is going completely nuts.
Right. And if I may, right, now you see the perplexity beginning to seep into the minds of the people.
Mm.
They can't quite make out, right, which what they're saying is on point, but they don't understand the motivation behind it. Because you can easily identify something. You can identify a wound, or right, you got a damn wart growing on your body, or you can identify, but do you know what's the source of it? Do you know why it's there? How to get rid of it? Anybody can identify when something is wrong. But see, they have been they have been kept right from the truth. Because really everything that's taking place on the planet Earth, and you notice, right, he says we are literally being bombarded with news stories. We understand that that's nothing more than the prophecies, the tokens, which serves as a gauge, which where we will be at in relation to, the return of Yahweh Shah. But the rest of these people, they are being wearied by it. Like, damn, there's no comfort in sight. We have a comfort. Really, the news articles that's bombarding you is comforting us. Matter of fact, read that again.
Cause every day we are literally being
Yeah, man. Hey, you know what that reminds me of? Habakkuk, the 2nd chapter, how the glory of the Lord will fill the world as the waters cover the sea. The water serving as a symbol of this truth, the sea being the people. So now our reality is becoming their reality. They're being bombarded with reality. Come on.
Every day we are literally being bombarded by news stories that indicate that the world that we live in is going completely nuts. We are constantly having to deal with unprecedented political chaos, economic turmoil, escalating global conflicts, frightening pestilence, and historic natural disasters.
Right. That's the time of trouble. Because this, matter of fact, real quick, let's get that in Ecclesiastes, the 3rd chapter. Yep, start at the top.
Ecclesiastes chapter 3 and verse 1. To everything there is a season.
Everything is calculated. And that proves that there's a higher power out there. You have a certain season where it's cold, hinging on what region of the earth you in, you see snow. Right? Then it warms up, spring, fall. That proves everything is calculated, man. So to everything, there's a season. That's how we know this is the time of Esau. Look at the heavy form of resistance. See? Because he's the adversary. Come on.
To everything there is a season and a time to every purpose under the heaven.
Right, and what lies under the heaven? The earth. So here on the planet Earth, the seasons change, the scenes change. Oh, we went into that a couple of classes back during the Sunday as foretold lesson. How it's just like a movie. You watch a movie, and in one scene it can be a shootout, and then just like that, the scene switches to someone sitting in the living room sipping some coffee.
Okay.
That's how this thing happens, man. 1 minute power on, 1 minute is off. Right? It can switch just like that. 1 minute you just paid for an Uber. Next minute, your phone is locked. You can't get into it unless you provide a 16-digit COVID right code. See, so the scenes, that's just like a movie. The scene changes, man. But it's a purpose behind it. Nothing chaotic in the sense of it not being organized. No, it's very strategic. There's a purpose to it. So come on, let's read into this.
Con. It says, a time to be born and a time to die, a time to plant and a time to pluck up that which is planted, a time to kill and a time to heal, a time to break down and a time to build up,
Go ahead.
a time to weep and a time to laugh, a time to mourn and a time to dance.
So we would be in a time of weeping. This is a time of mourning. And we read that in Revelation, the 18th chapter. So you get the gist of this. This would be the time of trouble, man. And we're in the midst of it. It's no longer a thing of, yep, it's right around the corner. No, we're in the midst of it, man. So let's go back to the articles.
Con.
What we pulling up is taking place in real time.
Con. It says, I find myself using the word chaos a lot these days because that is what we are witnessing all around us.
Right. And that's true, man. It's all around you. You can't point to a designated area. Nope, it's over there. No, we right in the midst of it. And even if you was to alienate yourself, be secluded, if you got a phone, if you got any form of technology, you're going to be up close and personal. You're going to see the chaos, all the different articles, the alerts that come through, right? The rhetoric concerning global war, the constant reports of pestilence and potential natural disasters and hurricanes. Is not this a time of trouble? You damn right, man. This is the time, and we open up with that, Jeremiah 49th chapter. This is the time of Esau's visitation. Come on.
Con. It says, I find myself using the word chaos a lot these days. If I may, that's the theme of the global elite, trying to bring order out of chaos.
Right.
It says,
if I may, everything we speak as touching the plagues overall, whether it's the famine and the insurrections and certain things that's said to take place, really is going to be generated by Esau. It's going to be the Most High working through his left hand. For an example, the famine is pretty much a man-made famine. So the Lord is going to be working through the adversary. And that's why it's going to be a heavy form of resistance. The resource is going to be cut off by the sword. Come on.
Con. It says, I find myself using the word chaos a lot these days because that is what we are all witnessing around us. Yesterday, I shared some really crazy things that have taken place within just the past week. And today, I have an even longer list of really strange things to share with you. The following are 11 examples that show we are truly living in very strange days. Number one, it is being reported that an unidentified celestial object that is more than 27,000 times larger than Earth is traveling through our galaxy and is approximately a 1 million miles per hour. Traveling through our galaxy at approximately 1 million, a million miles per hour. It says an unique celestial object has been caught hurtling through space at 1 million miles per hour so fast it may leave the galaxy, according to NASA.
Right. So, hey, that could very well be a chariot, man.
Mhm.
And they have the power to leave out. You know how big the galaxy is, man?
Hmm.
Come on.
Con. It says the colossal object, roughly 27,306 times the size of Earth, was spotted by a citizen scientist who were analyzing data from NASA's WISE telescope. Number
Yeah.
two,
So, like the brother read in the heading, is it's a string of strange things, right?
hmm,
So the brother gonna go through a couple of them, and then we'll move on. We got a list of other articles as well.
number two, an extremely rare doomsday fish was just discovered near the coast of Southern California.
Now I never heard of that.
Okay.
I don't know if you're familiar. Matter of fact, you want to click on that and see? Can we see if that's a thing? But hey, those words, being thrown around, doomsday. This is the perfect setting for the word destruction, man. Right? Back in the 1600s, well, that word destruction wouldn't have been as assertive, in my opinion. I mean, you could have used it for certain cases, but on a global scale or speaking of an entire land mass, now that's a reality. You can actually entertain the idea of destroying a whole country. Come on.
This is from the Jerusalem Post. It says, "Is disaster imminent? Doomsday fish found off California coast, bringing fears of bad tidings."
Whoa. That's crazy, man.
It said,
hey, but
it's like
when you take a step back, you assess everything, these different doctrines, these wild concepts, especially amongst Jake. They say, for an example, the Black consciousness community. There's a lot of guys who support that, right? What they teach, it don't coincide with reality. With people in their mind, what's dominating the minds of the people. This is what's on the forefront of these different news circulation outlets. Disaster. That word disaster, destruction, doomsday. And the doctrine we teach, and I say this humbly, man, the Wadi Yahweh Shema Shah for allowing us to even possess this type of information. But what we believe in, what we subscribe to, it perfectly align with current events, man. Things that's taking place. This is what's relevant. The testimony of Yahweh Shah, man. Everything else is rendered as nothing. It holds no weight. There's no substance to it. It would be considered void. So yeah, I wanted to see if it was an image or anything in that concerning that fish, but or could you go to images?
Let's see. Let me slap.
I mean, if
See if I can pull. It should. This thing ain't. Okay.
you know what, don't worry about it. I got it right here, and we can go back to the article if there's a read on it. But let me. I could just pull it up right here, and that's crazy. It came up. Okay, these images of it. Okay, and the same article came up here 3 days ago. Incredibly rare doomsday. Wow, that's crazy, bro. Let me see if I can get that. Hopefully, I can see it. Let me see.
Damn.
That's it right there. Fish. And once it emerged and manifested itself, the people panicked. They said, "Oh, is disaster imminent?" See, the spirit of Yahweh Shema shines in the earth. It's almost like they anticipate being destroyed. They can feel it over their shoulders, like justice is on their heels. See? Hey, even we spooked, right? Hey, because the scriptures tell you how I heard the word of the Lord and was afraid. Or being moved with fear, right? Why are we in fear as well? Because we believe that there's a power out there, man. Right? Now we doing what we can do to the best of our ability, but we don't lose that edge. We don't ever sit back and think we got it all figured out. No, we fear Yahweh Shema Shai, man. We pray that the Lord don't destroy us. So how much more you people out there, man? That's an omen right there. Wow, that's the first time I heard of a doomsday fish. Looks eerie too.
Let me jump down. It says, according to the Not Be, an absolutely gigantic statue of a Hindu deity has just been unveiled in Houston, Texas. This can't be good. I remember y'all did the lesson regarding that what was that in the sea, that Poseidon,
right,
you know, where they
wow.
basically seeking to their gods. It's like,
oh no, you got it, bro.
You know, they seeking to their prognosticators. You know, they trying to do everything in their power to conjure up a way out of this disaster that the Lord is getting ready to bring on them.
But really,
it's like,
and even in doing that, they making it worse. They inciting, right? Because here it is, you erect this deity. The Most High gonna rock America, man. Come on,
Number 6, in Illinois, a massive outbreak of oat leaf itch mites is creating plague-like conditions all over the state. And, you know, we were speaking on, if I may, going back to those plagues in Egypt. You know, the Lord has various ways to bring those calamities. You know, and it said it's all over the state. So when you get bit, by this mite, it creates a heavy itch where there's no relief. Let's see.
Man, the Lord said He'll send forth plagues that's not recorded in this book.
Okay.
Right. Come on.
Number 7. It says a video was posted by an unnamed farmer on social media is creating quite a stir. He says that aluminum levels in his soil are far higher than usual. And he claims that his heirloom seed crops are failing. Yeah, if I may, just going back to the plagues,
Yeah.
how the Lord said that seed is going to fail.
Uh-huh.
Second Ezra.
The
Yeah.
earth is not yielding us. It's like,
Oh no, Con, that's second Ezra 16, I believe. Oh no, you got it, bro.
it's like it. They're basically the Lord is holding fast to his word, as the elder mentioned, everything that we see coming to pass was prophesied, it's biblical prophecy, and it's comforting us why these people are feeling the distress and anguish. It says number 8.
Yeah.
Oh, did you have that precept, Barack?
What that Jeremiah 50?
No, I got that second Ezra 15. If I can read it real quick.
Okay.
Well, did you want to pull it up? Was you there?
Salaki.
Right. Just to add to what you were saying, it started at the 12th verse.
This is second Ezra chapter 15 and verse 12. Egypt shall mourn.
Right, Egypt shall
mourn. And the foundation of it.
Remember, the scriptures say there's going to be a point where they're going to mourn, and we're going to rejoice. Right, so that's where we at with it, because even though the very presentation is concerning evil tidings, it's really a form of rejoicing, because it's pronouncing the takedown of the place of our captivity. So as bleak as the message sound, is really a rejoicing in a sense. And now the people is mourning. Go ahead.
Good. It says Egypt shall mourn, and the foundation of it shall be smitten with the plague and punishment that the Most High shall bring upon it.
Mm-hmm.
They that till the ground shall mourn, for their seeds shall fail through the blasting in hell and with fearful constellation.
Right. So that's essentially what you just read in one of the list of 11 strange things, where you had a form. Matter of fact, let's go back to it. And you see what these, man, this is beautiful, man. The scriptures, man. You can't make no other source, no other text with this. We literally see what the scriptures are saying. Come on.
Number 7, a video that was posted by an unnamed farmer on social media is creating quite a stir. He says that aluminum levels in his soil are far higher than usual, and he claims his heirloom seed crops are failing.
And that's essentially what we just read. The second Ezra, the 15th chapter. So, yep, you got it, Barack. Was you calling for a precept?
Yeah, kind of real quick. Jeremiah 50 and 16. And that's a hint of the famine too. They was talking about how the seeds failing, you know.
This is Jeremiah chapter 50 and verse 16. Cut off the sower from Babylon, and him that handleth the sickle in the time of harvest.
And so this is the Lord.
For the fear of Salakia.
So is the Lord, doing it. These are strategic moves from Yahweh Hashem Yahushua. The very pillars that uphold this place is being taken away, man. So you think you're gonna be able to pick up the pieces? No, the Lord is attacking every aspect of this system, as the elder mentioned, Egypt, from the economic, failure to even the Lord, took out the cattle. Firstborn, it was very strategic where that system was it going to be as prevalent or have that status as it once was, man? So how much more in the time in the end, you know, Scripture talk about neither root nor branch. So Lord ain't leaving no stone unturned. He gonna dot every I and cross every T. Everything that upholds this place and keep it going is being attacked. So even with this farmer, you know, concerning the seeds fella and all that, this is all a strategic move from Yahweh Hashem Yahushua that what is the offensive military strategy?
Yeah, blockading the siege.
That's it. This what we saying, you know. You got it out.
Yeah.
Con. It says, for fear of the oppressing sword, they shall turn every one to his people, and they shall flee every one to his own land.
And we see that as well, even concerning the elections or whatever. You know, you back then, with just not recently, you had the passport bros to kind of make a move to get out the country. But overall, you seeing people leaving, you know, even considering leaving Babylon because of what's happening, man. This place is finished, you know. But the Lord is attacking everything, man. We seeing it playing out in real time. But you got it out.
That's it. So, yeah, do we got any more articles?
I believe it was just one more on this list, Baba Kasha.
Okay, cut. All right.
That'll number 8. It says, as if we didn't have enough deadly diseases to be watching for, now the CDC is warning that the parvovirus B19 is something that parents in the U.S. should be concerned about. And if I may, it's basically a respiratory disease that affects the children. You know, and it's along with, you know, those certain plagues. I believe y'all went into one of them last night. The C19, the K.1.1.3 KP. You know, that's, you know, biblical prophecy again. You know, the Lord is really plaguing this place. That was it on this article right here. This is
they be airborne. It's like you can't see it. Not like you see a dog running up on you and you can run for cover. You can't see it. It's so many metals in the air. That's the sword. Those lippity metals that get in your lungs and your system. That's the sword. Welcome to Esau's kingdom. Welcome to hell.
That's it.
You are now entering into Esau's realm, you know, where you breathe in the sword. See, that's why even Yahweh Shah said, at least there'll be any flesh remaining to be saved. It's like it. At least those days be shortened, there will be no more flesh remaining to be saved. Come on.
This is from the sun.com. It says, gone for good. Subway abruptly closes.
Oh, man. Like you had that nigga, that black nigga, Flavor Flav. He saved, and you know what? That nigga saved the Red Lobster, I believe. I saw a commercial for the nigga. Because I don't know if y'all remember, the Spirit had we was going into like, it was, well, the retail apocalypse. And Red Lobster was one on the list. And this nigga Flavor Flav came out of the shadows and vowed to save, right? He started saving money and shit. But I believe he actually pulled one off. I saw a commercial where he was promoting the Red Lobster and shit. But yeah, good. Right? Because that food in there, it was, I believe it was probably been a while now, but it was testing human tested in there, man. And nobody, it was no uproar or nothing. It came out. It was official. Like the FDA or something, it was tested that it was human DNA in the goddamn tuna.
Tuna, yeah.
Yep, tuna. Yep.
right?
And they
But
said that.
it's the Mossad beginning to close up this place. And we looked up that word calamity, right? And one of the words was oppression. So now you're not going to have the liberty to, go out and eat what you want. And the Lord is beginning to cut the ring off. That's like you was going to make a point, Barack.
Khan, yeah, Salak, just to add that point concerning what they found in the tuna, they also testing the bread, and it was pretty much the same material as yoga mats and shit like that,
Yeah. That's crazy. Yeah, but hey, like I said in the spirit, everything is psychological. That's why there's a heavy emphasis on wisdom. If these motherfuckers give you a pack, right, and it says cherry flavored, psychologically, right, and people don't understand that, man. Like you think just because the bread, right, it's the traditional Subway,
yeah.
call it the
So that
sub, right, in the traditional.
Mhm.
Your
Yeah.
mind, a lot. You don't taste that yoga foam. Your brain is computing it as bread,
man.
right? I'm telling you, hey, that's what Esau deceiver, and the taste buds and all that, it works within, it works and coincide. Somebody blindfold you and give you a Vienna sausage. But that, you know what, man? At the water, how about some outside, man? You was eating that shit, man.
Yeah.
I'm sure
Huh.
everybody in this circle up here, being down from Birmingham, Alabama, you had some, man.
Sauce meat and shit.
All that BS.
Good.
But you pronounced it
Yeah.
right. Sauce meat.
Yeah,
Man, that's death, man. And the
Good.
potty meat. Why would you eat?
oh man.
Yeah.
Who was messed up, man, in the head? Motherfucker hand you that and it's called potty meat. And you actually consume it, man. That show you how far from grace we fell. Yeah, but that's crazy. I didn't know that the bread it tested with the same material as and it looked like it,
Yeah.
yoga. And we was going into that. That's why now, if you give someone a real cherry, they're gonna say no. That's they're gonna say no. That don't taste like a cherry, and it's gonna be based upon them measuring it up to a cherry. Now or later. See? That's why this place got to be destroyed. Come on.
Con. It says gone for good. Subway abruptly closes 23 stores in 2 states and 200 workers out of jobs. Diners fair chain is dropping like flies.
If I may, that's
It
that withering.
says, con. Mhm.
Yeah, this place is withering away. The very things that remind you of the American dream and all that shit is gone. The elder mentioned, the retail apocalypse, the restaurant apocalypse, all these things that these for you to hold fast to America, you think about Sears and Kmart and shit. That shit gone is the past, man.
Yeah.
It just show you that she have ran her course and we at the end now,
Oh, that's heavy though. They got this one YouTube channel is dedicated to like the 90s and the early I don't know if you see it. They if you remember this when this was in McDonald's or right, I don't know if you come across any of those videos. Remember Radio Shack, right? And it actually have the violin playing in the back, man. It's eerie. Like they have they had the music, like soft piano. It's dread, it's a very solemn thing, and they reminiscing on America. Remember when they had these apple pies on the menu, or remember when burgers was. Remember when we shopped at these stores? blockbusters and
Mm.
yeah, they even go into sensitive information, certain pencil sharpeners, and these people are reflecting on, but the Lord taking all of it away. Subway was a fixture.
Mhm.
Con.
See, matter of fact, was it a read in that? If not, let's move to the other
That
part,
was okay.
right?
Huh.
Because the one that complimented that one, right? Come on,
Huh. It says fast food chain that once had 1,200 restaurants about to close, remaining 27.
that's the worst news. It was no good news in that, right? I can see they said, even if they said they got 27 more left, that would have been disheartening, right? They said, well, they do got 27 left that's thriving. Even that would have been disheartening.
Mm.
And because that's think that it's going to be good news on the back end. Go back up to that head one more time, Salaki. You can see where it seems as if it's a build up right at the corner of your eye that 27 could be something positive. Read that again.
Good. Fast food chain that once had 1,200 restaurants about to close, remaining 27.
You think of it as say about to open 27 more, you know? Who cares about the last 27, you know, at that point? You kicking me when I'm down now. If I had any hope, don't even tell me about the last 27, right?
Yeah.
All right.
Have to be shut down.
And then like losing $1,200. You got a dub
Yeah.
now.
And they said, yeah, at least you got 27 left in the account, but you look closely. Now that's pending. That's about to be taken.
Yeah.
Solomon, like the evil titans. See? And this lines up with biblical prophecy, man. Matter of fact, can we get that real quick? And we're going to come back to this article. Ecclesiastes, right? You know what I want? I believe it's the 12th chapter. And you got
Ecclesiastes chapter 12 and verse 1. It says, remember now thy creator in the days of thy youth, while the evil days come not, nor the years draw nigh, when thou shalt say, I have no pleasure in them.
Kind of. So the scripture says, remember now thy creator in the days of thy youth. And that's really concerning, you know, us coming in this lifetime, being born again. And they said this really a sense of urgency. That's why I said, while the evil days come not. And we seeing the evil draw nigh. The scriptures talk about how the prudent man foresees the evil and hiding himself. So us having the testimony of Yahushua, that light, you know, now we can see the things that's coming, you know, in the near future. Now we can prepare, you know, and you know, hide in Yahweh by Yahushua, you know. You got it up. Oh, it says slot.
It says, it says, remember now thy creator in the days of thy youth, while the evil days come not, nor the years draw nigh, when thou shalt say, I have no pleasure in them.
And we coming upon those times, you know, we really already in that time where, you know, people don't have the pleasure in these days for real. I mean, motherfucker try to go unwind and watch a game or something, but now, you know, they worry about rent, you know, they worry about this, they worry about that, you know. There's always something that's gonna keep your mind on prophet, because that's what the Lord is doing. He's getting your attention by the way of prophecy, man. So you can't really unwind, you know, why you keep looking at your bank account. You got to do one or the other, man. You gonna worry or you gonna unwind, but prophecy is not allowing you to rest. You know, you got it out.
Hey, as the waters cover the sea,
Mm-hmm.
because really waters is overwhelming. Once that water start to get up, and even when you see like a movie like Titanic or whatever, you can kind of feel. You see that water raising up, you like, damn. You can kind of feel the intensity, you know.
Mhm.
Like you up to your neck in it, or that's a saying, up to your neck in bills, or up, you know, that overwhelming flood of the word is now beginning to affect you people. So yeah, let's get to the point on that.
Con.
Matter of
Verse
fact,
4, Slakia,
the fourth verse.
Con. Verse 4, it says, and the doors shall be shut in the streets when the sound of grinding is low, and he shall rise up at the voice of the bird, and all the daughters of music shall be brought low.
That's it. So it says, and the door shall be shut in the street, and the sound of the grind is low, and that's what you're seeing now. You know that job, the lack of jobs. You know, and that's what this devil always try to push out. You know, especially these devils, they campaigns or they want to promote. Yeah, these jobs, we got new jobs opening and all. But as you look at the article, when you really look at reality, everything is closing.
Right.
It's closing or it's being bought out of something. You know, that's the Lord showing you that this place is at its end, man. You know.
Yeah, it ain't a window to throw it out. Like, you know, the old saying, this ain't a window. It ain't a window to throw it out. Ain't no store, man, to work at.
God.
Right. So, yep. Let's go back now, and we're gonna read into that article a little. And was that the last one?
We actually had one more after that.
All right. Cut.
Okay.
Let's read down.
It says, Salakia. It says, plenty of restaurant chains have closed locations or filed for bankruptcy over financial problems, like Red Lobster, Pizza Hut, Bico de Bebo, Bebop, TGIL Fridays, Popeyes, Tijuana Flats, Cracker Barrel, and Applebee's.
Right, those would be considered.
Those
would be considered fixtures here in America.
Okay.
See, which contribute to your normacy bias, if you will, because that's the spirit here in America as well, normacy bias, and we read that in Revelation, the 18th chapter. How in her heart she said she would not be a widow.
Mm-hmm.
Meaning the pulse of America, the average American, and a sincere thought is that this is a permanent reality. They're going to always have a Taco Bell or a McDonald's. Now understanding that biblical prophecy is in motion, man. The doors of the doors in the streets is being shut. So yeah, that's pretty much it on that. I just wanted to read a little into that so we can go to the last one.
This is from abcnews.go.com. I eat or I pay my bills. Americans describe rent burden fears, concerns.
And that's the spirit. Hey, the article says it all. Right? That's the spirit. That word calamity, one of the words that was burden as well. Right? Jeremiah 49th chapter, the time I would visit Esau. With the calamities, that word calamity, one of those words is burden. And guess what? You know, you're going to hear that word a lot more. You Americans out there, you're going to become more and more familiar with that terminology, man. Hell, right? Hard times, calamities. Oh, perplexity. That's the word that's going to summarize everything. You people are beginning to be perplexed. And guess what? The Lord, he already got everything lined out, man. Nobody's going to get away, right? The Lord said, you shall marvel if one stiff neck among them get away. So basically, each and every individual gonna have their up close and personal moment with prophecy, and even we is, right? Scriptures tell you how that hour of temptation and how it looms. You see, but the Lord says, since we have kept the word of his patience, then he would keep us in that hour. And that's the importance of being here. And continuing to believe, digesting that daily bread. Each day, the Lord putting the spirit on you to, have entrance in the word, being attentive. See, so the water get out by Shema shot for that. But as it were, we just went through a string of articles, and not one of them promoted mirth or good times or happiness. It was all centered around trouble. See, and it wasn't concerning projections for the most part. The one article, the 6 billion. These devils came out and said, look, we expect 6 billion motherfuckers to be dead in around 2025. But outside of that projection, everything that we read was right around us. See? Mm-hmm. So we in the thick of it. We right in the middle of it. We're in the midst of troubles. And the Lord is keeping us. And we pray, that Yahweh Shema shall keep us until the end. So yeah, with that, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shah, Bahashem, Rakak Wadash. Double honors to our teachers, the head apostles, and the elders, the great millstone. Shalom to the fellow laborers out there. And as always, you believers, to the next time, shalom.
Shalom.